In the winter of 1959, 10 young souls set out into the Ural Mountains of Soviet Russia. They were experienced, strong, and full of life. They were looking for adventure. But the mountains have no mercy for the young. Weeks later, rescuers found their tent sliced open from the inside. Their belongings were still there, their boots, their coats, their food. Everything was in place except for the people. They fled into the sub-zero night in their underwear, running toward a forest that offered no shelter. What they found there wasn't just death. It was something that defies logic. Broken bones with no bruises, radiation on their clothes, and a mystery that 60 years later remains frozen in time. Welcome to Chronicles of Cold. Today, we reopen the file on the Dyatlov Pass Incident. The group was led by Igor Dyatlov, a 23-year-old engineering student. He was meticulous. With him were 8 other students and one older veteran of the Great Patriotic War, Semyon Zolotaryov. Their goal, Otorten Mountain. In the local Monsey language, Otorten means "don't go there." But to these hikers, it was just a challenge. On January 25th, they reached Vidzhai, the last settlement. From there, they vanished into the white wilderness. Yuri Yudin had a sudden onset of joint pain. He had to turn back. As he hugged Igor Dyatlov goodbye, he didn't know he was hugging a ghost. He would be the only one to see the 1960s. February 1st. The weather turned. Blinding snow and dropping temperatures forced them to make camp on the slope of Kolatsyakl, the Mountain of the Dead. Their last diary entries were peaceful. They ate, they joked, they prepared for sleep. But sometime after midnight, something happened. Something so terrifying that they didn't even have time to unzipper the tent. Investigative photos show the tent was cut from the inside. 9 people fled into a blizzard, temperatures hitting minus 30 degrees Celsius. Some were barefoot, others had only one sock. They weren't just leaving, they were escaping. When the search party arrived on February 26th, they found a scene of nightmare. 2 bodies were found under a cedar tree near a small fire wearing only underwear. Their hands were burned. They had tried to climb the tree so desperately they tore their skin on the bark. 3 more were found between the tree and the tent, including Igor Dyatlov. They were in a line, as if they were trying to crawl back to safety before the cold took them. But the real horror was found 2 months later, when the snow melted. The remaining 4 hikers were in a ravine. They didn't die of cold. They died of massive internal trauma. 1 had a fractured skull. 2 had major chest fractures. The doctors said the force required was equal to a high-speed car crash. Yet, there were no external bruises. What killed them? Theories range from an avalanche to secret Soviet weapon testing. Some mention glowing orbs seen in the sky that night. Others point to the Monsey people, though no other footprints were found. In 2020, a new study suggested a slab avalanche, a freak occurrence that pinned them down. But does an avalanche explain the radiation found on their clothes? or why Zolotaryov was found with a camera around his neck. But no film. The files were closed with the official cause of death listed as a compelling natural force. A vague answer for a horrific end. The mountains kept their secret. If you want to keep exploring the darkest corners of our history, subscribe to Chronicles of Cold. Some stories are better left in the frost, but we will keep digging. I'm your host, and this was the Dyatlov Pass. Until next time.